What's up, Cool Nation? It's me, Coolness17, the coolest of the cool. That's me. And I'm gonna ask you a question. Creating a pilot, creating a television show based on one of the most hated video game characters of all time, what could possibly go wrong? Everything! Yup. This happened. Bubsy the Bobcat got a television pilot. Okay, so there was originally going to be a television show based on the video game mascot Bubsy. In case you don't know who Bubsy is, he's basically one of the mascots. There was a time when all these companies were trying to make mascots like Sonic. And so, Accolade, the developers of Bubsy, wanted to get into that craze. Well, they made a few games for the SNES, like Bubsy and Claw's Encounter of the Fur Kind, Bubsy 2, and the hated Bubsy 3D. But Accolade wanted more than that. They wanted to create a television show. And so, they decided to hire a company to create a pilot for the show, and it was sponsored by Taco Bell. And they made it. But this pilot wasn't successful enough to actually warrant a full television show. So, yeah, you know what Bubsy is now. And you know how this is made. So, yeah. The pilot really sucks, so much that the creators of Bubsy themselves hated. In fact, it was so bad that the employees of Accolade actually cringed when watching the pilot. Now, how do we have a copy of this today? Well, in 1995, there was a PC re-release of Bubsy 1 and 2. This compilation was called Super Bubsy, and as a bonus, the pilot was included as one of the bonus features. So this pilot was so bad that it probably would have been lost without that compilation. So let's go into the flaws of the animation. All I really have to say about the animation is that it's so generic. It looks exactly like a Deke ripoff, and it just looks like a samey show from the 90s. Now it's decent animation, but it just looks too generic overall. Okay, so now that we got all that stuff out of the way, let me tell you what actually happened in the pilot. So the pilot starts with Bubsy, the titular main character of the pilot, waking up his supposed sidekick Arnold, who is having a dream about being hit by a truck.
Okie dokie, Arnold, time to rise and shine, old Palamon. The truck, the tin for the one. Come on, Arnold, old buddy, wake up!
So it turns out that Arnold actually doesn't like Bubsy all that much and is actually afraid of him, though Bubsy treats him as his sidekick.
The prince of personality, Bubsy! Bubsy? Oh, worse than a truck. Oh, come on, you know I'm your hero. You're not. Well, of course I am. I'm your hero, and you're my sidekick. Oh, please, do we have to go through this every single morning?
Also, before we move on, sorry that the quality of it is really bad. This was the only thing I could actually find. This is the best I could actually find. So sorry about the quality of the video, but this is all I could find. So then Bubsy's nephew and niece come over, and it's actually their birthday. So then after that, the two twins, which I'm just going to be calling them that, they try to play with Arnold.
Under the couch, I couldn't resist. Arnold! No! He wants to play with me! No, he wants to play with me! He's mine! No, mine!
So anyways, Meanwhile, Bubsy sees a commercial for a device that can turn imagination into reality. It was made by a scientist called Bergen, and he wants there to be like a test. So he's hosting auditions for a test. And so Bubsy decides to go and test the thing.
What I need now is someone extremely brave to test the helmet. You said you needed someone totally nuts. Hey, that's me. I'm totally nuts.
You gotta love how Bubsy himself admits that he's nuts. So, yeah. Just wanted to point that out. So, Bubsy decides to go out so he can audition for the test. However, there are complications getting in his way. There's this fat cat named Allie who wants the helmet for herself, and so he gets her two servants, Buzzwell and Sid. And so they go out to find the helmet.
I heard you say nuts. No, I said brave. Nuts. If I could get my paws on that helmet, I could finally live the lifestyle that I deserve. Buzz! Sid, come here at once!
So Buzzwell and Sid go out to find the helmet. Meanwhile, Bubsy goes to Virgil's place so he can audition for the test for the helmet. And so Virgil gives Bubsy a warning that he should make his desires very specific, otherwise really terrible things would happen.
Copernicus, cut to the chase. I'm ready for the gusto. Let's power up, babe. Oh, boy. Oh, yes. One warning. You must be very specific about your thoughts. Otherwise, terrible. Yeah. I know. I'll think of something that really blows you.
So Bubsy says that he wants to fly. And so him, Arnold, Virgil, and the twins are just literally placed in the sky. You know something ironic though? Bubsy can actually glide through the sky too. Like in the games, he can actually he has a gliding ability, and that's not there apparently. He can't do that. He just can't. So after that, Bubsy tells the helmet to put him and everyone else back into the lab.
Hand over the headgear, Arnie. Success! I was brilliant, and nothing went wrong.
So once they get back to the lab, the twins want to play with the helmet, but they find a way to get Bubsy to give them the helmet.
Bubsy, we're bored. Yeah, can we play with the helmet now? Absolutely not. The helmet is not a toy. Yeah, I knew that. The helmet is not a toy. Besides, it's just for Virgil and me to play with. Right, Virgil, buddy?
So while the twins were playing with the helmet, the Buzzwell and Sid are here to take the helmet, but they also come up with a plan to eat the twins.
Always hungry. Well, I'm not sure if I don't eat every 10 minutes, I go mad.
Yes, well, in your case, I'd say it's a little too late.
I know. Huh? What luck! This couldn't be more perfect. My turn! My turn! My turn! So do I!
Now, if we play our cards correctly, you and I will get dinner for two, and Allie will get her helmet.
So the two go to get the twins as well as the helmet. However, while trying to get the two and the helmet, they end up being caught in a roller coaster that the two make.
I'm a buzzard, a majestic bird of prey.
Okay, so, Turkey, you wanna go on a roller coaster with us?
There is no roller coaster.
You wanna bet?
So Bubsy and Arnold go outside only to be hit by the roller coaster, and then soon they're hanging on for dear life. after that one scene, Bubsy, Arnold, Buzzwell, and Sid end up in the desert. And once they're in the desert, they found the twins absolutely ginormous. And then they quickly just turned back to normal.
Did you hear Uncle Bubsy? Yeah, I think he's calling us. Let's go find him. Okay. Ew, I stepped on something squishy. Me too. Uh-oh.
So after the twins turn back to normal, Bubsy is really angry and lectures them about what they did.
We were only having fun. And if that's a crime, then book us. Come here. Hey.
You don't be put in jail.
You see, if you had lost that helmet to the turkey and the rat, you could have easily destroyed the world. But it's our birthday!
So after that, Buzzwell and Sid just kidnap the twins and get the helmet.
What could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? Success!
After that, Allie, remember her, gets the helmet and wishes for a bunch of things. And meanwhile, Buzzwell and Sid just go to kick twins.
Well, Allie, if you'll excuse us, we have some cooking to do. Oh, yeah, cooking is good. Yeah.
We can make great mud pies.
Yes, which will make it even better. Cacciatore.
So Bubsy's lost the helmet, but not all hope is lost. So he just calls Buzzwell and Sid, and tells Sid it was the guy who's obsessed with food that he's gonna deliver food to his address. And so he just needed his address.
Oh, sit here.
Hello, Sid. This is Bubsy Bobcat, president and owner of Bubsy's Catering Service. Now, because of your incredibly small brain, you have been chosen to receive a free banquet dinner for 50.
Oh, my food, comestibles, edibles. Woo!
Yeah, I'll bring you all the food right now. Just give me your address. Thank you very much.
So Bubsy just comes to the address, and so a fight ensues for the helmet.
Do something, Sid. Use your imagination. Such as it is. Corn dog. No. Corn dog with a B. Oh, no, wait. Corn dog.
So after a long battle, Bubsy gets the helmet, which is literally about to explode, but he thinks of something that can save the day.
Now, I'm going to imagine something so mind-numbingly incredible that it will instantly save the day. Yes, no, yes, oh yes, I like it. What a rush! I think I saw Elvis.
And so Bubsy saves the day, and the pilot ends. And a television show was never made. So in terms of my overall thoughts, the story, it's fast-paced, but I found it boring somehow. And the animation, like I said, is generic overall. And the voice acting is just too loud, and there's mediocre dialogue, and you have a really terrible pilot to start off a non-existent show. So that's the Bubsy pilot. So, bye, guys.